matters which lead to education success. Since becoming a principal at the age of just 24, Dave has brought reform and dramatic improvement to some of the most challenging education areas in Australia, including the Halls Creek District High School, which during his tenure became recognised across the country as one of the most innovative education programs. Shortly before turning 30, Dave became the youngest educational regional director in Australia with responsibility for schools in the Barclay region in the Northern Territory. He's been recognised as a Young Australian of the Year and a Young Australian Leader of the Year. He's a passionate educator with proven impact at scale. And he does this by leading an organisation, Education Changemakers in Australia, which exists to help end educational disadvantage in Australia by inspiring, equipping, connecting and supporting a new generation of education change makers. Educators with proven impact who understand the art of great teaching and the science of teaching change. So could you please join me in welcoming Dave Faulkner to the stage. Thank you.
I want you all to stand up for me, please, because I can tell you right now I have a bit of a numb bottom. So have a stand up and just sort of give it a bit of a read. Say to the person next to you, it's good to see you here today. Fantastic. Now take a seat and listen to me. Isn't that what good teachers do? I want to express my gratitude as well for the fantastic welcome that we had to country here this morning. In Australia we have welcomed countries too, and it was just a real privilege to be welcomed so beautifully to this country, and I feel really welcome here now and really comfortable on this stage, so I thank you very much for that. I don't really need too much of an introduction because someone just gave me this ridiculously nice spiel. But I want to tell you a little bit about who I am, because who I am to me is really important. And I'm not actually an expert in technology. So I'd say it's a bit odd that I'm standing up here at the Microsoft stage. But what I am is a passionate educator. An educator who really believes that education is the way to make a difference. And when I was young, I grew up in a disadvantaged area of Australia, in remote and rural Australia, and I quickly found that there was issues with the quality of education that was happening in our system out there, and the disadvantage that myself and my peers were experiencing. And so I didn't actually choose to become a teacher because I love teaching. I chose to become a teacher because I believe that education is the best way to end disadvantage across the globe. And so it's from that that I stand in front of you here today. So as I said, I've been a teacher for about 12 years. I started off in my Year 2 classroom back where I first went to school. And I went back there because I truly believed that I wanted to lift the quality of the education that was being provided to our students in rural and remote areas, especially Indigenous students. And from that point, I was very fortunate to be really passionate about becoming a leader. And at the ripe old age of 24, they gave me a gig of being a principal. Now, can you imagine it? A guy walks into your school, and he looks a lot younger than he does now, because I've been a director and a principal now for 9 years, so I'm getting a bit old, right? But a guy walks into your school, and there's 3 teachers there. There's 2 teacher assistants. All of them are over 50. And a guy walks in and says, "Hi, I've been teaching for 2 years and I'm going to be the principal of this school." They look at you and they say, "Right." But what I learned from that experience was that my actions speak far louder than my words. And over the next few weeks, I proved to these people that what I was there was with some authentic heart to make a difference. And what I really learnt from these guys is that innovation is the key to making a difference, being constantly able to recognise what we need to change. So I'm passionate about innovation, and I'm passionate about being able to make a difference through innovation. And I want to take you a little bit into... You're right, Mark, it doesn't sort of click quite easily, does it? I want to take you on a little bit of a journey of what I believe about innovation and being innovative, because I believe they're two different things, very linked. But in innovation, there's a lot of the stuff that Microsoft does. It's a new method, idea, or a product, right? But being innovative is a verb. It's an action. It's something that you have to do. It's introducing these ideas that are original, creative, or an advancement of an existing idea. Funnily enough, innovations don't make you innovative. I want to show you a little video and I just want to take you on a journey away from technology for a minute to show you a great example of innovation. I'm sure plenty of you have seen this before, and some of you are probably from the country that this has happened in. So,
Yung lugar namin, Sitio Maligados, San Vicente, San Pedro, Laguna.
Siyempre, alam mo naman, ganitong lugar, squatter area, tabing release, dikit-dikit ang bahay.
Madilim talaga rito sa lugar mo na to.
Wala kami dito sa loob, lagi kami sa labas.
Nadadapa kasi madilim, may dadaan, hindi mo alam, may nakaharang.
Natutulog na lang ako, wala ilaw eh.
Ang tawag niya sa akin dito si Mang Dimi Solar. Napaliwanag ko yung mga bahay nila madilim. Mabutas ka ng yero, lalagay mo yung bote, lagyan mo siya ng sealant, bago lagyan mo siya ng tubig na mineral, lalagyan ng drops. Bago kabit mo sa bahay, lagyan mo yung sealant ko para di tumulo. Gaya nga kasimple yun. Dating ganito, tukadilim ng pagkapitan. Ngayon, nung kapitan na, ito na ang liwanag niya. Yan ang liwanag.
Umili po ako kasi bote lang, tubig. Maliwanag na yung bahay mo.
Bumaba yung ano ko, binayaran mo ngayon. Simula nung makapitan ako nito. At saka itong solar battle bag na to, hindi mainit.
Dahil sa buti na yan, sa solar na buti na yan, kumanda ang araw namin.
Ang nalagyan na namin ito ay bali 643. Gusto nga namin tuloy-tuloy para marami nga matulungan ng mga tao rin na yung maliwanag ang mga bahay nila madidilim.
Parang katulad na rin ng bumbilya. Sa akin natin nakakalimutan, napakinabalan na ngayon. Maliwanag nga sa bahay namin!
So you can see that being innovative is not necessarily to do with having the newest resource. Being innovative is actually a state of mind. It's an action. A guy that took the rubbish on the streets, a little bit of water and some bleach and changed the lives of so many individuals. You see, innovations are dependent, and especially educational innovations, are dependent on the educator to be innovative. Can you tell me the difference between this and this? Just have a look again. Tell me the difference between this and this. You see, to me, they look like the same thing, right? And I had an idea when I was a principal. I became a principal of a place called Halls Creek, and Halls Creek in Australia was splashed across the Australian newspaper as the worst place in Australia to live. Right? The toughest school. We had a 35% attendance rate, and they decided that they'd give me a go as the principal at 28 because no one else would do it. And so I thought, beautiful, this is a great opportunity to be innovative. So the first thing I did is I had this huge budget, and I bought a whole heap of these. Right? So I went out, I had this money I had to spend within 8 weeks, and because that's the way government money works, right? You have to spend it all. And so I went and spent this money. I thought, what can I buy? What can I buy that's innovative, that's going to be fantastic, it's going to transform the classrooms? So I went out and bought 19 interactive wireless whiteboards. And I put them up in the room, and they were ready for the first day when the teachers came back to school. And these whiteboards were there. And I got up and I did a professional development where I actually showed the people how wonderful these interactive whiteboards were. And everyone went, wow, they're fantastic. They're going to be great for our classroom. They're going to make a real difference. Then as a 28-year-old, I forgot to do one thing. I forgot to tell them how to use them. I thought they'd figure it out, you know, because for me it was easy. I was a digital native. I just got into it. And I had a group of teachers who had not got into it. So a couple of weeks in, I had permanent whiteboard markers, permanent markers all over my boards and sticky notes.